Hi there. If you're thinking about selling your home in Ontario for the very first time, you're probably hearing a lot of terms like the listing agreement, the RECO guide, form this, form that, and wondering what am I signing and why. In this video, I'm walking you through all the essential documents you'll be asked to sign when listing your property. Don't worry, I'll keep it real simple and maybe even entertaining. I'll also throw in a personal story that might save you from a legal headache. Whether you are already working with a realtor or just doing your research, this is the video that explains what no one else tells you clearly enough. Hi everyone, I'm Roshan Basnet, a licensed real estate broker here in Ontario, and I serve the Greater Toronto area. Welcome to my channel, Where to Live in Oakville and Burlington. In this channel, I cover everything from selling your home, buying your first home, upsizing, downsizing, and then everything about Oakville and Burlington neighborhoods, schools, where to eat, and entertain. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Let's dive in. First thing first, ID verification. What is FINTRAC ID verification when buying or selling a home? Whether you're buying or selling a home in Canada, your real estate agent is legally required to verify your ID. And that's because of FINTRAC. FINTRAC stands for Financial Transactions and Reports Analysis Center of Canada. Long one. It's part of Canada's anti-money laundering and anti-terrorist financing laws. So yes, even in a regular home sale, your realtor will ask to see government-issued ID. They'll record your name, address, occupation, and sometimes ask about the source of your funds if you are buying. It's not because they don't trust you. It's because the law requires it. Everyone goes through it. It's all about keeping real estate transaction clean and transparent. After this is acknowledging you've received the RECO information guide. This is probably the first time you'll be asked to sign. It's not a contract, it just confirms that you received, reviewed, and your agent explained the RECO information guide. The guide itself comes from the Real Estate Council of Ontario, explains things like how realtors are supposed to work with you, what it means to be a client, what multiple representation is. It's there to help you make an informed decision. And I have a separate video that explains this document in detail, and the link is in the description. Now, let's unpack listing agreement. You'll be either signing a brokerage representation or designated representation, two different forms. Your agent will explain you. If agent presents Form 200, that's the brokerage representation, and it obligates everyone on the team plus every other agent in the brokerage to represent every client of the brokerage. If it is Form 271, that's designated representation agreement. This type of agreement identifies one or more agents as a designated representative who will exclusively work with you and represent you as a client. While other agents can also provide services, they will not represent the client. This is to avoid multiple representation situation or conflict of interest. Other than this, between the two forms, the materiality of forms are the same. The listing agreement is a legally binding contract. It's between you, the seller, and the real estate brokerage you are hiring to sell your home. It's never with the agent. It always stays with the brokerage. This form gives your realtor and their brokerage the legal authority to represent you and market your property. Without it, they literally can't put your home on MLS or realtor.ca, do showings, or negotiate on your behalf. Think of it as the green light that turns your property into an official listing. The first section of this listing agreement includes the basics: who the seller is, who the brokerage is, the property address, the listing started and ended, that's the length of the contract, and the asking price. Important to note here, the listing period is negotiable. You're not locked into a standard time frame. Some sellers do 60 days, others do longer depending on the market. Please also know that some real estate boards require minimum contract duration to list on their boards, so 60 days is a safe bet. And regarding these times, if you ask me to sell a home in 30 days And if the market is slow, it's very difficult because you want to properly expose your property, have it out in the market. It involves a lot of things. So 30-day might not always be sufficient. And yes, both parties, the seller and the brokerage representative, will initial these sections to confirm everything is agreed upon. Now, let's talk money. The commission section is a big one. This is where the total commission rate is written out, something like 4 to 5%. As per the Trust in Real Estate Act 2002, all real estate commissions are negotiable. It can be a fixed amount or a percentage of the sale price or a combination of both. But it cannot be like, oh, if I sell your home for more than X dollars, the rate will be X percentage. That's not allowed. The commission section also explains how commission is split between the listing brokerage and any cooperating brokerage that brings the buyer. Also, cooperating brokerage or the buyer's brokerage fee can be a fixed amount or a percentage of sale price. Everything is negotiable. And there is also a holdover clause, meaning if someone saw your property during the listing period when a brokerage was fully marketing it and buys it shortly after your contract expired, the brokerage may still be owed commission. We'll go over those parts together in detail when you're listing, but it's good to know upfront. The next section explains how your realtor represents you. You're officially a client, which means you'll get the full fiduciary duty, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, the works. It also explains multiple representation, which is where the same brokerage represents both the buyer and the seller. Again, the term brokerage represents, it doesn't always necessarily have to be the same agent. If that happens, you'll be asked for written consent, and the brokerage must remain neutral, protecting both sides equally. That means your agent can't tell the buyer what your bottom line is, and they can't tell how much the buyer is really willing to pay. It's legal, but it needs transparency and your approval. I have a personal story about Clause 5 of the listing agreement. The clause says, if anyone reaches out to you directly, to you meaning the sellers, because they saw your home on MLS or a sign is on the lawn, you must let your realtor know. You can't just strike a deal on the side of your own. When I was selling my own home, someone knocked on my door and said, hey, if you cancel the listing and sell it directly to me, we can both save on commission. Sounds tempting, right? Temptation is not an opportunity. And nope, don't do it. Because not only would that violate the agreement, but the brokerage could still be owed commissions anyway. The property was marketed, listed, and exposed to the public through the agent's efforts. So if someone inquires, pass it to your agent. That's what you have hired them for. Next, marketing and signage. This is where you give your brokerage the right to advertise your home. This includes putting a for sale sign, about even sold sign on the lawn, using photos online, holding open houses, promoting the listing through MLS, and multiple other marketing platforms. The agreement also allows your realtor to make decisions on how best to market the property within reasons and in line with your goals. Next is seller warranties and information. The agreement confirms that you, the seller, have the legal authority to list the house. That includes things like you actually own the house. There aren't any other agreements with other brokerages. And if you're married but your spouse is not on the title, your spouse might need to sign a spousal consent section under the Family Act law. It also allows your realtor to verify information about the property, like checking with the city about permits or zoning. Then you have the privacy, data, and the MLS information. In today's digital age, this section is all about data privacy. When you list a home, we collect personal information like your name, contact information, and floor plans and photos. This section says you give us permission to use that information to market a home, submit it to the MLS, and share it with potential buyers and their agent. It also notes that your information might be stored outside of Canada depending on the MLS system used, which is standard but worth knowing. Then the form covers electronic communication and final signature. That is email and using platforms like DocuSign or AuthentiSign to sign the documents. It's legally binding and saves everyone time. Then there's the declaration of insurance, confirming your real estate agent is insured under TRESA, because all licensed real estate agents are required to carry errors and omission insurance. And finally, you sign to confirm you read, understood, and agree to everything. Boom, you're officially on the market. Also, attached to the listing agreement, you'll often find Schedule A. This is where the brokerage outlines the actual services they are providing to you. Professional photography, staging consultation, online marketing, showing feedback, weekly updates. The list could be long. It's basically a mini service contract inside the main contract, and it helps both sides be clear on expectation. Next, you'll also sign a Form 208. It's entry access to property, and it's a seller's acknowledgement. This one gives permission for people to enter your home for inspections, appraisals, and showings. It spells out who is allowed in: buyers agents, inspectors, appraisals, etc. Whether someone from the listing brokerage needs to be present will also be spelled out. If you are okay with the photos and videos being taken, this is where you consent. That you also understand the risk and benefits of using a lockbox for access. Basically, this is about safety and consent. You have control, but it also streamlines the process. Next, Form 209 is where things get interesting. This is the seller discretion to share the substance of offers. It gives your agent permission to share certain details of one offer with other buyers in a competing offer situation. You choose what can be disclosed, like the price, the deposit, conditions, closing date. But no personal information is ever shared. It's strategic, a way to encourage stronger offers while staying within the rules. You are in control of what gets disclosed. Phew, that was a lot of paperwork. But here's the thing. These forms protect you. They make the process clear, fair, and professional. And when you understand what you are signing, you make smarter decisions. And don't worry, when we work together, I go through all of this line by line with you. No pressure, no confusion. So if you're planning to sell your home and want someone who can explain everything in plain English, reach out to me. I'm Realtor Roshan, and my business model helps buyers and sellers keep what's theirs. See you in the next video.